How you doing there, folks? What I want to talk about tonight is a plan that was made today. It was on the news by the New York City Comptroller, and it's a plan that would put an end to the MTA draconian fare increase service cuts plan. The plan that was put forward by him, and it really should be done, is to increase the cost of registrations for vehicles, uh, and it'll go by the vehicle's weight. A very small car probably will pay like $100 more, mid-size 150, a big car like a 1968 Chevrolet Impala, big huge Ford Expedition, $200. And this plan is very fair because number one, it would be much cheaper than the tolls put on the East River bridges. Number one. Number two, this plan alone would encourage people to maybe give up driving and use mass transit, take the buses and subways and reduce traffic. Number three, the fare increases and service cuts would be very, very unfair because the MTA plan impacts people that are poor that have to depend on these buses and subways. And let me just talk about the fare hikes, okay? 2002 was $67 to buy a 30-day weekly unlimited use Metro card, and the fare to get on was $150. It was raised to $2. Three fare hikes later, it's now $81 for a 30-day unlimited use Metro card, and that's all the money I would have had saved. They had to go towards these fare hikes. Now they're talking about possibly raising it to $125 a month, which would make it very hard for people like me that are poor to have to that need that money that they're calling for fare increases. They people like me that are poor need that money to be able to pay rent, buy food, and they have money any get just to even think about even getting any money saved. Number two, the service cuts would make the service much more inconvenient than it already is. The subways would be drastically overcrowded. Talking about cutting two whole routes, cutting in half two other routes, plus having trains not come less frequently during the midday hours, and 30 days only 30 minutes apart at night or overnight, and that could possibly that's when they like to do their track repairs late at night, and that could possibly lead to it taking as much as 3 hours just to go 15 lousy miles. Because when they do the working on the tracks, that causes another connection that otherwise would not have to be made, possibly two, depending on the way of the route to traveling, and they work on multiple routes at night, and they do. And when they do the track repairs, you have to skip stations, and you got to take another train back, or possibly go all the way around by way of China, trying to get where you're going. Number two, number two, and some trips involve a connection anyway. That would be very inconvenient. The MTA fare hikes and service cuts is going to put an end to the increased ridership they have gotten. And it's going to make driving attractive again. They're going to lose a ton of riders. And what's going to end up happening is there's millions of gallons of gas that's now being saved by people taking the MTA buses and subways. That's fuel that's going to be used. It's going to be increased traffic. It's going to be the air quality in the city is going to get much worse. It's going to be a disaster all the way around, folks. Another plan that was mentioned by the New York City Controller is add 3 cents to the gasoline tax, and that would raise a lot of money. Okay, Okay, now another thing, another thing that could be done, and it would be a very good idea to get the councilmen and the New York State senators and the assemblymen to vote for this. The way how you gotta do it is you gotta include pork for their districts. That's how you get a plan like this passed. Like Duff Hyken, who was against the congestion pricing plan, you include $30,000 worth of pork for each New York State Senate and each New York State Assembly district, and in order to get this passed, because a New York State senator or assemblyman from Buffalo is going to be thinking, why should I vote yes for this plan that's going to benefit New York City? What's in it for me? What's in it for my district? The Viking was against the congestion pricing plan. If you put in $30,000 worth of pork for his district, like, and the money would go towards an organization in this district that benefits everybody in that district, such as the Borough Park Hadzola, that $30,000 could go towards that organization in his district, and that would get him to vote yes for this plan. You know what I'm saying? And that 30,000 could mean the difference of the Borough Park Hadzola buying a new ambulance or not. And all of a sudden there's a heart attack. Someone they end up having to send one of the oldest ambulances out. All of a sudden this happens, and that could put someone's life in jeopardy. So adding $30,000 to import each one of these districts to go for the main causes in each district, that would get yes votes from the New York State senators and assemblymen. Councilman Simca Fielder, who was against the congestion pricing plan, along with Bill de Blasio, and they voted against it. Well, you include $30,000 worth of pork for their two councils, for all the city council districts, Bill de Blasio's district and Simca Fielder's district, which includes Borough Park, where the Borough Park Hadzola is the main organization, will be include $15,000 worth of pork for each one of the city council districts in order to get that passed. And like I said, 45,000 could be the difference between buying a new ambulance or not in that organization. Okay, now what I want to talk what I want to talk about is I just want to talk about the service increases, service decreases, and draconian fare hikes that the MTA wants to do. They're talking about cutting routes like the M6, the 25. They're talking about eliminating 25 bus routes. They're talking about eliminating weekend service on other routes that would not be cut. They're talking about eliminating overnight service on a few dozen routes, such as the M103, and the way that route is run is already unfair. After 12:15 a.m., the M103 only runs 1 hour apart overnight, while the M101 there's 5 trips between 12:15 a.m. and 1:15 a.m. Why can't one of those M101 trips be taken off, put on the M103, so the M103 can run 30 minutes apart, or even take 2 trips off that, so the M103 can come 20 minutes apart. The M101 after 12:15 a.m. runs half full, and a lot of buses come with only no more than 10 people. Take 2 trips off that, put it on the M103, and that would benefit, that would more benefit the people riding along the Lexington Avenue line, because the 12:15 a.m. trip that goes all the way to City Hall and the 1:15 a.m. trips are very busy. In between, more riders would catch the M103 if it came 2 more times, 20 minutes apart, going that way, that otherwise aren't and are just flagging out taxis. Now, the New York City Controllers plan should go through. It's a very good plan. It's going to end the draconian fare hikes, service increases, and money money surplus from that plan should go towards getting the Second Avenue subway built faster and service increases.